I had Justin Herbert as the top quarterback in the draft, even ahead of Joe Burrow. So I would have taken Justin Herbert if he was there for Miami. Doesn't mean that the Dolphins didn't make the right choice by drafting Tua.
You've always been a Herbert guy.
Yeah, but that's just – I like Herbert. I like big quarterbacks in general. I like to be able to see the ball come out. I like those guys. And I saw him up close in person, and I liked him. I saw Tua up close in person before several times, and I'm like, okay, cool. I think that they both are going to have great careers in the National Football League. But I don't think the Dolphins are regretting getting the person that they wanted the entire time. At least that's what they say, right? I mean, they say we wanted Tua this entire time. Now, look, he goes up against the Denver Broncos, and he goes up against Vic Fangio, who's a decent schemer in terms of defensive game plans. He's one of the old heads in the National Football League on the defensive side of the ball. He gives him a little bit of a problem. And late in the game, they made a decision that Ryan Fitzpatrick was probably best suited to engineer a 2-minute drive late in the game rather than Tua.
He almost did it.
And he almost did it. So the coach was putting them in a situation to win with 2 minutes to go in a game, or less than 2 minutes to go in a game on a 2-minute situation. I don't have a problem with that. Doesn't mean that he's benching him and he doesn't like him anymore. I don't want to even start that narrative.
Indeed, Jay, he's going to start against the Jets on Sunday. What do you think?
Well, I can start against the Jets. Sorry.
Well, actually, Key, I disagree. I disagree with you, man. I actually do have a problem with it. I know that you said that, hey, Brian Flores is putting his team in the best position to win the game by putting Fitzpatrick on the field. But what does that do to your rookie quarterback? How do you allow him to continue to grow if you don't allow him to battle through difficult times, right?
But Jay, that the coaches know, Jay, the pulse of their team and their quarterback that they've been in the room with far greater than we do. And for whatever reason that he went to Fitzy.
We know that the coaches know the pulse of the team better, but I mean, we still have disagreed with what those coaches have decided to do in those spur of the moments. I mean, we've talked about this multiple times. I mean, I'm not comparing them, okay, because Bill O'Brien is way different than Brian Flores, I would say. It's like, well, Bill O'Brien, he knows his team better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that we agree with every decision that Bill O'Brien or Brian Flores makes. I'm just giving the argument that when you take your rookie quarterback, after you've handed him the reins, you said, Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay, you are not here anymore. You're still here as a backup in case something happens to Tua. But by inserting him in the game at that juncture and now allowing Tua, a guy that you're saying we're handing you the keys to the franchise to work through that moment, that allows opportunities for guys like Greeny and the media to start digging deeper and have these type of conversations about, well, now we wonder if Tua is actually the answer to this team long term. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but of course he's the answer to him. He was just the fifth pick. They just gave him, again, follow the breadcrumbs. They just gave him a boatload of money as a fifth pick in the draft. They inserted him into the lineup when they went 3-3. He went 3-1 as a starter. What's the problem? They're right in the hunt to win a division or make a wild card playoff spot. So I don't see what the problem is. Taking and putting a veteran quarterback in that can engineer a 2-minute drive, which, by the way, he damn near did. That is a coaching decision opposed to putting a kid out there that was struggling at the time. This is his first opportunity to engineer a 2-minute drive. You might as well let the veteran dude do it so we can stay within contention.
Key, what if he did do it? What if Ryan Fitzpatrick won that game? Do you not think the conversation then spirals? I've also been on this show with you when we've talked about Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles, and you're like, well, you can't go back and forth because then it creates dissent in locker rooms and the media gets involved and you make one pick or the other. Now you're saying it's okay to do just because they were trying to win that game at that particular time?
Different quarterbacks, different situations. Mitch Trubisky is on his way out. Tua is on his way in. Two different situations. I got a guy exiting in Mitch Trubisky. I don't want to go back and forward with Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. But if I got a young quarterback with a veteran guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick right there with him who is going to tutor him and teach him how to play the position at a pro level, I don't have a problem inserting him into the lineup with 2 minutes to go because he's showing you how to run a 2-minute drive in a hostile environment with a tough defense that has basically kicked your butt the entire game.
I just disagree with you on this one, man. I think that's a battle that you let Tua work out. And if you're going to commit to him, then commit to him. Like, if you're saying, hey, we are handing you the keys, as long as you're not injured, like, I just think that you've also told me, Key, that you think a lot of quarterbacks going back and forth, like even with what we were talking about, Carson Wentz. I'm saying, hey, play Jalen Hurts. You're like, well, look, Jay, I'm trying to tell you, quarterbacks are sensitive, man. Like, you've said this to me off camera multiple times.
They are sensitive,
Quarterbacks
but
are
you're
sensitive.
dealing with a different kid here and a different type of personality. Going back and forth with Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts is not ready to take over after I just paid somebody $100 and something million. I'm $40+ million on the books. I'm not even thinking about playing Jalen Hurts, no matter how bad the Carson Wentz situation goes.
The last thing I would mention
Agree
there.
to disagree, Zubin, on that one.
Gotcha. The last thing I would just mention there, the Dolphins are in this weird nebulous place where their progress has been far more accelerated than they thought. They draft Tua, we're playing the long game. Hang on a second, we beat the Patriots to end last season. We end on the upswing. They're in the playoff hunt this year. So that complicates things a little bit because they drafted him for the long term, and suddenly they're now trying to make the playoffs in the short term. So that could be another wrinkle that Brian Flores is working through.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.